Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you? Today I'm going to learn how to be classy, like a European. 10 things classy Europeans would never wear in Europe. By Anna Bay. Go check out her channel, link down below, of course. 10 things classy Europeans would never wear. Would a European wear this? I mean, to be honest, this is about as classy as I get, guys. I mean, look at this. I got the khaki pants, sweatshirt, Levi's, name brand right there. That's about it. That's the peak of the mountaintop for me in terms of class. Sadly, they might not let me into Europe. Hopefully, sweatshirts aren't on this list. Or t-shirts. That's all I have.
Tourists can have a distinctive look, and my suggestion would be that
What's funny is tourists here in America look the same, you know what I mean? Like if you go to Florida, this is what the tourists look like, the American tourists. This is just what dads look like on vacation.
if you're traveling to
Oh, I didn't even have it pulled up. What the hell am I doing?
tourists can have a distinctive look, and my suggestion would be that if you're traveling to another culture, you might want to try and blend in a little bit. So today we're going to talk
Why? Why though? The thing is, I don't want people to be disappointed. You know, I don't want to look like I'm European or something, and then they talk to me and they're like, "You're a stupid American tourist, and you tricked me." I'd feel bad about that. It's like catfishing.
about how Europeans dress like. And I am a European, and I definitely want to add a little bit of commentary because I've seen some content around on social media claiming how Europeans dress, and I want to actually debunk a few myths in this video. But first we need to address, why is it so important to blend in? Can't we all just dress however we want? And to some degree, of course, you can be yourself, you can have your
I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I feel like it's blowing your guys' eardrums
style,
out.
personality, and you can have your unique sense of dressing if you want. But it is important to
I don't know why that's like the opposite of what a lot of people say, you know. A lot of people, at least here in America, it's like, yeah, you know, dress however you want, you know, be yourself. Now, in reality, most people do end up dressing similar. What just happened?
always take other cultures
know
into
what just
account.
Okay, yeah, that's important. Take the cultures into account.
But there's also a big advantage to blending in and not standing out like a sore thumb. Because first of all, if everybody sees that you are a tourist, you're not local, you might have to pay higher prices in shops.
really?
People might take advantage of you. So there are many benefits to why you should try to look a little bit more like the locals do.
I will say, I feel like you probably will get, like, there's a chance people will try to scam you. I've heard of scams in, I don't know, certain countries. I think they're more common in some European countries than others, but it's like, I know some of my friends who have gone to Europe and they got scammed. Whether it's like stepping on a painting that's on the ground or something, and they put it there purposely to have you step on it because they know you're a stupid tourist and that you'll be afraid not to pay for it because you stepped on it. Am I making sense?
So how does one look like a tourist? Well, I would say there are two primary categories. The first one is that the typical tourists tend to dress very sporty. And especially when Americans are visiting Europe,
This is my freaking wardrobe. Actually, I don't wear tank tops very often.
they love their running shoes, they love their leggings, they love their sports shorts, they love their t-shirts, they love their tank tops. And although I must tell you that Europeans wear this too, because right now in the whole entire world we have this kind of what I call the pandemic of athleisure, where basically everybody thinks that the whole world is a sports center. But
This is extremely convenient for me. I love this trend. She calls it a pandemic. I call this like a miracle. This makes me almost fashionable, you know, unintentionally. That's the only clothes I ever owned. And now everybody wears it. I want it to stay this way.
Tourists tend to love the sporty look. They love dressing comfortably. And I understand, because if you are a tourist, you're going to be sightseeing all day long. You want to be able to walk, to feel comfortable and at ease. I am not against comfort, but one can look good, dress well, and adhere to dress codes and respect cultures.
What are dress codes?
While
I mean, I know what that means, but what do you mean? Like, if you're out in public, if you're not in school, then what is a dress code? As far as unless you're attending a funeral or something.
Still be comfortable. Let me give you a few things that typically tourists tend to wear. Flip-flops, running shoes, backpacks, baseball caps, t-shirts, leggings, sports shorts, jeans, hot pants, crop tops, dad sandals.
This just looks incredibly just standard American stuff.
Dad sandal with socks.
Check this out, huh? Oh, yeah. That's the stuff.
So basically, if you don't want to look like a tourist, you do not wear any of those things. But I'm gonna give you some pointers of what you should be wearing instead. So if you're traveling to Europe, make sure you pack comfortable shoes. Although, of course, we go by
I only have one pair.
car everywhere here too, but we are not as much of a car riding culture as other countries are, meaning that we actually walk a lot here.
Other countries, I know what country you're talking about.
And our cities tend to be quite walkable, especially with all the beautiful European architecture that you really see in most cities. For this reason, we run our errands oftentimes on foot. In Italy, we would go for an evening passeggiata with an ice cream. So yes, you're going to be walking mostly. Make sure you pack shoes that you can walk in all day. I have actually made a video on this subject that you can watch.
But I'm a little bit confused because sneakers are exactly, those are the most comfortable shoes to walk in all day. But she said don't wear sneakers.
Watch after this video.
Or like athletic shoes, running shoes.
My suggestion would be that let's say you want to wear running shoes. Replace the running shoes with a nice pair of attractive sneakers instead. Or if you're tempted to pull out that dad sandal, maybe another type of sandal would look better in this occasion.
Hold on. If you're wearing a dad sandal, then you're a dad. I mean, you're a man. What? I'm not wearing that. I need some tips for men.
Classy footwear is definitely a must for your Europe trip. Another thing that is typical for Europeans is the choice of color.
I don't have any classy footwear. See, now I have to weigh, it's like a cost-benefit analysis. If I'm having to go buy a bunch of classy footwear and clothes, then, maybe it would be cheaper to just get scammed a couple times in Europe since they know I'm an American in my running shoes.
That you're wearing. So Europeans dress a lot depending on season, because in Europe we have 4 seasons. So if you come in fall and winter, you can definitely wear more.
We have 4 seasons here in America too.
Fall type of colors. Versus if you come spring summer, you wear more pastels and lighter colors. But overall, I would say Europeans are very much into neutrals and very much into less is more type of mentality. Certainly
okay, now we're talking.
A little bit of pop of color is normal to see here and there, but we're not necessarily the most colorful and flamboyant type of culture. One thing to pay attention to is that Europeans can be seen as a little bit conservative at times.
Okay, see, now that is sort of interesting because these 2 things right here, incredibly normal here in America. That's kind of shocking to me to say, oh, you don't wear that.
Generally speaking, we are not so much into showing a lot of skin. And think about it this way. If you come to Europe as a tourist, you're going to do a lot of sightseeing and you might enter a lot of churches. And there we have a strict rule of always covering up your shoulders.
Now, okay, if you're going to a church, I guess I never thought about that. If I was sightseeing in Europe, I guess you would go to some churches because the churches are beautiful. But I didn't consider that.
And wear something knee length for women, as otherwise it's quite disrespectful. I guess what I'm trying to say is that maybe the crop top and the jeans hot pants is not the best combo.
Now that is what girls wear to church here in America. Not really. Not really.
When you come and visit Europe. Something else that we tend to wear a lot, especially women, we tend to wear a lot of dresses and skirts. I know that American female fashion can be a little bit more masculine, but in Europe it's actually quite feminine, but also quite classic. If you're new to my channel,
American female fashion is masculine? I never... Yeah, okay. I didn't know that.
I'll make sure you
I guess dresses are a very feminine thing, and they're not super common here in America. But on the other hand, I mean, girls do wear dresses. Apparently not as much as in Europe, though.
subscribe, because here I do give a European approach to my content. Europe tends to be a little bit more classic and elegant. So if you love that type of style, then you are going to love Europe. As I am a certified image and color consultant, I wanted to simplify styling to those who might find that it's quite difficult or not fully understand.
I think this is just, you know, something for her website. You can go check that out.
Out how you can always look your best. But to go back to the question, how could you still be elegant while being comfortable? Because that's the whole point. You want to be comfortable while you're touristing. I would personally advise you ladies to invest in comfortable dresses and skirts. I think that they're the most flexible because they will not be sitting tightly somewhere, meaning that you don't have to use the leggings, you don't have to use the t-shirts. Surely if you really want to wear trousers, maybe you can have a bit of wider trousers, maybe a nice pair of palazzo trousers. I think the main point to think about is, what is it that makes clothes comfortable? And I would personally say it's always about the right size. Make sure that your clothes are not too small. Second of all, the fabric of the material and how it handles the weather conditions that you're in. If you are in winter and fall, make sure that it warms you or protects you for the weather if it's...
Now, I guess the only part I'm thinking about right now is, at the beginning she said it was like a pandemic, that the whole world was wearing athleisure, you know, leggings and stuff, and running shoes. But so if that's the case, then wouldn't you blend in wearing that?
cold or raining or something like that. Or if it's spring summer, make sure that the clothes can breathe, that you're not being overheated in your outfit. And then lastly, it's about the fit.
Europeans are very fashionable, aren't you? Very fashionable. And I think particularly here in Indiana, like if maybe if I was in California or something, I'd be a fashionista. But here in Indiana, it's not known as the fashion state of the United States. It's not. So, I don't know. I might just have to get scammed and taken advantage of. I don't know if I can dress elegant.
And the
I could try.
construction. I just feel like there are so many different types of clothing and shapes that you don't have to be restricted just to that cargo pant or that legging or that short. There's so much more variety than just that. And if you subscribe to this channel,
well, that was aimed at, you know, a lot of it was aimed at females. But it still is interesting to see, you know, what here in America I would consider and just normal, and what you see girls walking around in all day would not be necessarily appropriate or common in Europe. Like leggings and short jean shorts. That's pretty much all girls wear. Go check out Anna Bay. It was a very interesting video. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you're doing good. I'll see you tomorrow.